Episode 6. We're at six episodes.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Welcome to SDS.
Skin Deep Stories.
Yeah.
Tattoos, motherhood, and the chaos in between.
Yeah. So episode 6.
I love this. I love our title.
Go.
All right. From gangsters to grandmas. Everyone getting tattooed.
Yeah.
So who's getting tattooed? What's the range of clients?
Yeah. Well, first timers. So people coming to us for their first tattoos we do 18 and over only at the shop.
Yep.
And you can go back to our episode of what we wish someone had told us, episode 2, I think that was
we get that question a lot about 18 versus, so in Quebec, you're legally allowed to get tattooed younger with parental consent, but our shop is an 18 and over shop because of insurance reasons and because of our waivers.
Insurance reasons.
At our shop, we don't tattoo.
Because your body changes.
Yep.
Your body is not the same at 14 as it is when you're in your 20s. You're not done growing. Things can change. Your interests change. So
let's look at all that demographic of who's getting tattooed.
Yeah. So back in the day, it was bikers, sailors.
Yeah.
Back at the
we're going way back.
Yeah, way back. But that's what it was. It was men. It was men in the Navy and
it was the commemorative ones. Or that's at least how it was stigmatized. Was it was a very specific type of person that was getting tattooed.
Yeah. And then moving on to the kind of subculture, like bikers and, criminals. And
and, it's crazy, but there's still people who kind of still think along. It's a lot less common than it was, but there's still people who think along those lines that it's still not professional in some way, or it's still not. And the range of people from when, even we told our first stories, when I first started getting tattooed, my mom was not okay with it.
Yeah.
And yet by the time I got older, I think things like the TV shows on TLC, like Miami Ink and Ink Master.
Oh, yeah, that made it was an explosion.
It was an explosion of acceptance because now people got to see inside the industry a little bit from the living room, from their own homes. So things like Ink Master. I remember my mom sitting there watching Miami Ink.
My parents watched it too.
And she would call me and be like, "Did you see who?" And I'm going, "Okay, but who are you?
Yeah.
This was not the mom at 18 who basically was not okay with me getting tattooed, but they started to accept it more."
Yeah, it's funny because I was downtown at a concert a couple weeks ago, and we were walking down on forget what street. Anyway, Ontario, I think. And there was just bars with open and all the servers were heavily tattooed and pierced, and I'm it's a prerequisite now. It's almost before it's you can't get a job, and now it's use your neck tatted, perfect.
It depends. It still depends on the industry.
Yeah, but I feel just socially and in the rest the hospitality industry, it's more accepted.
It is definitely accepted. I think it went from being so stigmatized as it's a certain type of person to it being very slowly but gradually and continuously very much accepted. Doctors, lawyers, nurses, teachers. I was a teacher. I was still teaching when I was getting my sleeve done, and I'd go into class. It's "Miss, what did you add? What did you add? Let me see." I'm like, "Okay, but it's covered. It's all smooshy.
Yeah.
You'll see it in a week."
Yeah.
But they were excited about it, and I think back to high school teachers. There were no visible tattoos.
Like, even my kids, now they're tattoos. "Oh, cool."
They don't care.
They don't bat an eye.
So our generation came up where you were a little bit, I still get that feeling of I'm a little bit rebellious when I get a new tattoo.
Yeah,
I feel kind of badass, I gotta say. Yeah. And I'm going,
it is badass.
It still feels that way for us. But my kids, your kids are just okay.
Yeah, it's just part of you.
It's just, okay, that's my mom's thing,
exactly. And there are, they doing, fake tattoos and stuff like that.
So now, it's funny, now I kind of see my kids maybe thinking about it. But for a long time, you'd ask my kids, and they're like, no, that's her thing.
And because it's so accessible, we wanted to rebel. But now because it's everywhere and so accessible, they're like, yeah, maybe I'll get tattooed. It's not as,
it's not a,
they
don't
rebellious.
Have a badass feeling.
And, what's the oldest person you've tattooed?
83, 83, 84. So yeah, and it's
I've done grandmas and older women too, and it's not easy. I gotta say.
Can I just say, okay, no, way more difficult to do the tattoo.
Oh my goodness.
Let's just say older skin.
My mom was one of my first mature skin. Sorry, mom. But and I was super new,
little wiser, older.
I didn't know.
Yeah,
I went in and just as if it was.
Yeah, it blows out.
Yeah.
And so tattooing older people, there are definitely difficulties, and not every style is going to work. Heavy color is not going to work. But I gotta say, I love my grandparents that come in that have never been tattooed. The best, it'll just make me happy on a day when it's a little grandmother who's never been tattooed. It's her first tattoo. She's like 79.
Yeah.
And she's in it. She's jumping in. And
she's getting her grandkids' name.
And it's usually grandkids or pets. Those tend to be like the first dip the toe in.
Or,
But I kind of love talking with them about, okay, why now?
Yeah.
See, again, it's the stories.
And
for me, it's always the
usually
stories.
like I've wanted to for so long, and I didn't.
I got to tell you a story.
Yeah.
Okay, so I had one little grandma. I shouldn't call it a nicer lady. Anyways.
Yeah.
So she was 80, 81, somewhere around there.
81 years young.
81 years young. Oh, see, when I get that old, I'm like, don't say that to me.
Yeah.
Like, don't. No.
I'm old. I'm an old bitch.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to be a mix of one of the 4 Golden Girls. Just put them all together. I'm waiting for the day when I can just let it go and not care.
Yeah.
But she came in, and I said, okay, why now? And she's like, well, my husband was very opposed to tattoos. He did not like tattoos. It was not his thing. He didn't, he came up in the generation where it was not okay. She goes, and now he's dead. And I went, okay. And she's like, he's not here.
Now I'm doing whatever.
So now I'm doing whatever. And she goes, I respected that. I respected that it wasn't his thing. But she's like, I always wanted one.
Now I'm getting dead.
And now I don't have to hear him tell me how stupid.
Yeah.
But just the way she said it so matter-of-factly, she's like, now he's dead.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
okay.
Great little tattoo, great personality. I love when they come in because they've lived so much and they know. And now they've seen their kids and even their grandkids get tattooed. And like I've had a couple tell me,
we've done like mom and daughters. That's we love doing that too.
Yeah,
mom and daughter, like
So that's what we're seeing a lot more is the stigma has kind of gone. It is people from all walks of life
and a way to bond.
Yeah,
yeah,
all nationalities, ethnicities, cultures. Ages. Still trying to convince my dad he'll never do it. My dad's 86, and honestly,
I'm surprised actually.
Yeah, I think it was a few years back he might have, but he's like, I'm too old for that now.
Past that,
I'm like, come on, Dad, let me. Just let me. So I don't think.
But I love that that's the shop that we work at, that people feel comfortable, like, to come in, and we always like, what kind of music, especially if like one person's getting tattooed, like there's only one client, we're like, what do you want to listen to? They're like, oh, well, whatever you have on. And we're like, no, like you're the only one. Like, what's your favorite music? Yeah. It's your day. And like, we'll set you up. It's like you're at the hospital. We have a little table beside you with all your stuff. Yep. People bring in their like snacks, and we offer snacks. Yep. And then like,
I love making it their day, and I love when people actually pick the music.
Yeah.
Because I get to listen to something that, like, it's really hard to pick music every single day. Yeah. Otherwise, I end up in a loop with the stuff. Like, granted, I have a pretty, like, all over the place music collection.
Yeah, with all of us together, we switch it up. But, like, we just love that, like, it's your day. It's your appointment. And,
so that's
whether you're a grandma or, like,
18-year-old getting your first one.
20. Like, I did a 20-year-old a little while ago, and, like, it was so simple. It was, like, a tiny fine line cross behind his ear.
Not that simple.
Not simple. Yeah, and it's like neck. It was hard placement, but it was his first tattoo, and he told me like this beautiful story of like what the significance was, and I was like crying.
That's where we're gonna go next with this. I think we're gonna get some people in, tell their stories, because that to me is the heart of what we do, is the stories we get to hear, the reasons why.
In every walk of life, like
from the grandmas to the
gangsters to grandmas,
from gangsters to grandmas.
Yeah.
So, okay, last question before we kind of wrap up. When your kid, if and when your kids say, I want to get tattooed, what advice will you give them? I already have mine pre-programmed. I did it with students for years, so I know exactly. I have a whole speech.
Super smart. I would probably just say wait. Just wait.
Yeah.
And make sure something
and have
depends
no
what
patience.
It is. Yeah, it depends. Yeah, I know. Yeah. I know. If you tell me not to do something, I want to do it more.
Exactly.
But make sure it's something that you're going to love forever. Like, don't get something, like, trendy. Like,
trendy ones. The tramp stamps of the, 90s with the tribal.
Yeah, mind you.
Which are coming kind of back.
Yeah, I love that placement.
Yeah.
Of, like, the lower back tattoo. Like, I love that placement. I think it's so, like, sexy. I agree. And I get why it was so popular.
And it is kind of coming back. But it was also because it had to be hidden. So that was kind of the stigma.
Yeah.
Too. Now, even me, I was getting tattooed more and more. I had mine hidden for a long time. Everything was behind me. Everything was on my back. My first visible tattoo was the shark that I got. It was the first shark I ever photographed. But that was the first time I put something visible. And even then, I was worried walking into work at just our students or parents or even my administration going to have an issue. And then when they didn't, I'm like, okay, so we'll just add one more.
Yeah.
Then I got the sleeve.
And now it's like you can't even imagine yourself.
The only one I didn't do until I quit teaching was the neck tattoo.
Yeah.
Because again, that was a big step. And even
I'm scared of. I wanted my neck done, and I'm scared.
Even now. So going into it. But back to the advice.
Yeah.
So can I tell you what I used to tell students?
Yeah. I would just, so my thing would be wait, make sure it's something you really love. And I would probably say wait till you're 18.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's what I used to tell my students. I said, okay, you have an idea. Great. Put it as the wallpaper on your phone. Put it up in your bedroom for at least a year. If you are not sick of staring at it after a year, because a year is nothing. A year is a blip in your life.
And I guarantee
at this point,
they'll probably be like, oh, I changed my mind.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So stare at it for at least a year. Every time you have a chance, that's what you're looking at. In that year, put away money. Make yourself a little fund because you don't want to get your first tattoo done badly that you're going to end up covering up later because then it costs more and it's even more difficult after.
Yeah.
So put away some money, do your research, all the things we've talked about before in the podcast, do your research, find the artist. So in that year where you're staring at it constantly, if you're not sick of it, if you haven't changed your mind at all, not even a single detail, then start looking for your artist. And once you sit down with your artist, discuss it.
Yeah.
Say, this has been on my mind. These are my ideas, whatever it is. Put away that money because good tattoos aren't cheap and cheap tattoos aren't good.
Yeah.
But most people, it's impulsive these days. Like and that's okay. Like I'm seeing in the trend is for these little banger tats and that's fine.
Yeah.
But for the most part, if you're first starting out, what you like at 18 is probably not what you're going to like at 25, at 34, at 42, at 74.
Yeah.
I tell students or young kids or younger kids, this will be on you when you're in a wheelchair and diapers in the old age home.
Yeah.
Hopefully
not.
If you really liked One Direction or Backstreet Boys or whatever it was, maybe don't go with that because that trend
Unless
will
it's
change.
Taylor Swift.
Unless it's
Then do it.
So it's something, try not to do the trendy stuff, do something that's really for you, something that you absolutely love.
Yep.
And that would be my advice.
Yeah. Sounds good.
All right, so let's wrap this up.
Yeah.
So thank you for tuning in to Skin Deep Stories, where we mix motherhood and chaos.
Yeah. And tattoos.
Oh, yeah, and tattoos.
Yeah.
Wow.
And most importantly.
You would think I'd get this better by this point, but all right, well, we'll chat later. Thank you.
Bye.